everybody that's just joining us. Make sure you have either just paper and pen or that you've downloaded and printed off the worksheet for sure. You don't have to have a water bottle, but I live with my water bottle very close by. It's never more than an arm's length away from me. Hydration is super important. Even if you're not working out, right? You have to be hydrated all the time. Who did something fun over the weekend? Hey, Sarah. Uh-oh. Wow, bottle number 6. Good for you, Leonka. I normally do about 4 of these a day per day. Oh, Darian, good weekend. Busy. Oh, it's good to chat. Leonka, I'm sure, with your nieces. I'm going to share the new password towards the end. Remember, you'll get it. You'll get it towards the end of the day. Very cool. Yeah, I was happy to go for a walk too, Andrew. I was out today. Beautiful weather. Does anyone remember how many people we had last week? Where it looks like we're about 26, 27. Well, Laura, did you walk all the way around the reservoir? Glad to have you here, Sarah. Nice. Oh, you guys are fast typers. All right. We should try to break a record. We're still only at 26. We need to get 14 more. You're welcome. I love it. Nice. It's nice when people do workouts together, right? It's really motivating. One more minute. Okay, so don't forget, again, we'll have the password. I'll tell you what it is. Probably about 7:30, 7:40, once we get towards the end. I'll share what that password is for you guys going forward, okay? So, yeah, you know what? Even if people start to join in, we will, I think we're ready to get started. So I have a question, just an answer yes in the chat box if you have downloaded the presentation. So just a quick yes or a thumbs up or something if you have downloaded the actual presentation so you can see it. Okay. Woo, we're getting close to our target. Hey, Rochelle, saw you joined in. Okay. We'll post the link one more time again. Hey, Josh. Terrific. Okay, well, everyone, if you haven't seen it, I did have the board here, so I'm going to do a few things on the board. Hopefully, you can see it today. Otherwise, the presentation is on the link. You can find it there. So, just want to do a quick review and a little recap on things that we talked about last week, because everything we talked about last week is going to carry over to this week. So a couple of the main 3 points that we did last week, we had the really important to be true to yourself, right? And it was really crucial that whatever you're doing in your life, and even if it's stuff that you don't really like, but that you're still being true to who you are when you do it, right? And you're keeping in mind who you want to be and everything about yourself going forward. Again, even when you're interacting with other people, but not being pushed into something you don't like or having to behave in a way that you don't feel is who you are, right? Always being aware of who you are, right? The other part was, again, acknowledging when there's an obstacle in your way, kind of saying and putting a name to it, even if it's a personal belief, right? By saying, oh, I didn't think I could do that. But remember, then we flipped it and we put it into the positive. So acknowledging that sometimes you might feel like kind of down on yourself or a little bit negative, but then realizing and remembering, if I flip it to the positive, I'm going to have that better outcome, right? Because where we put our energy and our thoughts is where we're going to go. And if we think in that negative space, remember that we're going to go to that negative place. And we want to make sure we keep going into that positive side, right? So those are kind of the main things we did last week. And we're going to carry that forward into this week. So a couple things we're going to cover. Again, we'll probably do it in about 3 different sections. And the first one I want to cover is about choice and talking about choice. You're hearing voices. Is anyone else hearing? There isn't any noise back behind me. Hopefully it's okay. I just wanted to bring up the word choice and talk about that for a second. And do you guys feel on a daily basis that you get to make a lot of decisions and you're involved in a lot of choices? So yes or a thumbs up in the chat if you get to feel like you get to be involved in decision making, and you have choices. All right, so still posting again. Do you get to be involved in choices? Cool. I like what I'm reading. And are you aware of all the choices you make in the day? And I ask that question because I want to think of things that you do without even thinking about it, right? What are some of the things that you do in your day that you may not even remember or that you may not even have to think about? What are some of those things? Yep. Food. What are some of the things that you don't even think about? You just do when you get up in the morning? What am I going to eat from? Yeah. Couple of things. Yeah, I get to choose to walk every day. That's good. Cool. Who even remembers to brush your teeth? I mean, you probably do brush your teeth, but do you even think about it, or does it just happen? Right? Or put on your socks. You probably just do it without even thinking about it. And the challenge today is going to be to start really thinking about the actions you're doing and what you're doing and the decisions you make. And it can be as simple as I'm choosing to eat the apple and I'm choosing not to eat the bag of chips, right? And so you start to think about your very specific decisions that instead of just doing it by habit, I'm challenging everybody to actually really think about decisions that you're making through the day. Yeah, meds. Yeah, there's the routines, right? And everyone can go through lots of different things in the day, but sometimes you just don't even realize it. And so, yeah, it's just starting to decide, am I going to do something? And making that conscious choice. It can also be how you're interacting with somebody, right? So it may not be what you do, but let's say it has something to do with the person that you're engaging with and how you choose to do that and how you react to them. Maybe you're having a really bad day, right? What if you're having a kind of a bad day and you see somebody and it's like, oh, I don't even want to talk to anybody, but you know it's the polite thing to do. So you have to purposely kind of dive deep down inside and be able to pull that out because you know it's the right decision to make, right? So sometimes you have to kind of force yourself to do something sometimes, right? Choose your actions wisely. Yes, exactly. Right? But yeah, so it is. It's just consciously deciding. And so that's a little bit of where we're going to go today, because you need to start being able to put a name to things and be able to put ideas out there and say, I want to do that, versus having it always in the back of your head. Okay? So yeah, it's a choice of words, it's a choice of actions. And you know what? How many people have ever said, oh, I want to go for a walk today, but it's too snowy, it's too rainy, it's too hot, I don't want to go. I'm not going to go, right? That choice is a choice, right? That's a decision someone made to do. If they chose not to go to work out, or they chose not to go for a walk and thought, oh, I'll just do it tomorrow. That's a decision, right? And you can't blame anyone else for that. That's a decision that you make. But everyone has to own that decision. And when you start to take ownership of your decisions, sometimes you have a little bit of a different perspective on them. And you can change your mind on how you want to do something. So if you're looking at the presentation, you'll see a page where it says, how will you act with intent? And intent, again, it's that purposeful action, that purposeful decision. And what are you going to do? And how are you going to be interacting with someone else? And are you going to make those positive flips to all your thoughts? That's a decision, right? That's not someone else gets to do. That's what you get to do. And so will you flip your quandaries into something positive in order to get something else to happen? So that's all about you guys making that choice. Okay? Choose it. Yeah. So like I said, indecision is a decision. Inaction, choosing to sit on the couch and not do something, is an action. Now, I think I'm preaching to the choir here because I think you guys are all very active. So that's probably not you. But some people just choose to procrastinate and I'll do it tomorrow. And that's a decision that they have made, right? So you always want to make sure that you're making those choices and consciously making those choices to be positive and to make the good positive, keep that direction going. All right. Before we get into the actual goal setting piece, I also wanted to talk a little bit about control. Okay. So if you can see my little flip chart there, I've got no control and in my control. And if you can on the chat box, just tell me some things that are not in your control, right? Things that happen around you all the time that are not in your control. Okay, we'll focus on what's not in our control. And you can talk about whether it's in your sport or whether it's in life. Oh, of course, that's a good one. Weather and buses. COVID, oh, that's a good one. Other people. Yep. And when we think about other people, it's other people's actions, words, dogs waking you up in the middle of the night. Good one. Okay. Friends. Yeah, and how others act, right? How other people act. So these are all things that you can't control, right? So then we have some decisions to make. Again, when we talked about that before, we have decisions to make about how we react to those, right? So now let's flip it around and let's talk about what's in my control? Okay, what's in my control? I'm going to put cats and dogs down there. So what's in my control? What do I get to choose? Yeah. Ooh, good one. My play, yeah. Oh, Michael, I like that. My friends. Oh, controlling temper. Oh, good. Wearing a mask. Yeah. I'm gonna put more up here. Yeah, role model. Who I'm with. You guys are geniuses. Can I just tell you that? This is amazing. Yeah, amazing. Amazing. Um, Thank you so much all for the feedback. Yeah, role model. Choosing to stay positive. Thank you, Darby. So this is, yeah, oh, and watching TV for sure, right? TV and games. Does anyone like video games, right? Being online too much. Um, and yeah, washing hands too and sanitizing. These are really, 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 look at how many things you're in control of, right? That's phenomenal. Phenomenal, right? But everything in here starts with my actions, my words, my eating habits, my play, my being active, my choosing, right? All of this stuff, that's you, right? So this, yeah, this is amazing that you guys have the control over here. These ones, yeah, you don't necessarily have control over, but what you can control is how you react to these, right? What do you do when this stuff happens? And when you think about something like the weather or the buses, and all of a sudden we're in this snowstorm, or all of a sudden the buses are late, your choice becomes how you react to that, right? And are you going to sit at the bus stop and just get grouchy and frustrated, or are you going to dress appropriately and just be safe and wait, or have a backup plan? Do you know what I mean? You guys need to make those decisions on how you react. Because what we've said, I think we said it last week, right? When you stay on that positive side, it's better for your heart, it's better for your head, right? And you do things more positively. And it's you have to stay in that mindset. If these kind of things get you down, and if these kind of things just really annoy you, you're going to have a really crappy day, right? And do you want to have a crappy day, or do you want to have a really good day? right? This is the stuff, your words, your beliefs, your actions that help you have that good day, right? If you're sitting here getting all worried about something that you don't have any control of, it's going to bring your energy down. Yeah, plan A and plan B, I love it, right? It's going to bring your energy down. And you guys are athletes. You don't want energy to be down, right? You're athletes and you need your energy to be up. So when you get this stuff kind of sucking and kind of pulling you down, flip it, right? Flip it around, put a big X through it, and say, it's not in my control. Not in my control. I'll leave that over here. Okay? So yeah, just planning around those things. I like that. Plan A and plan B. And then when you come over here, then you're being positive, right? And everyone, I get it. COVID right now, right? It's not great to think about. It's affecting a lot of us in terms of our programs and what we can do in our everyday lives. But I love that you guys brought that up, and you've got washing your hands and you know, wearing your masks and keeping your distance and doing all the right stuff, because it's those of us that do that kind of stuff and keep that in our control. We're going to be the ones that help get over this, right, and help move on so we can get back to our regular programs and stuff, right? Yeah, and someone else just posted in here. I love that you also control your sleeping, and sleeping is super important, right? Sleeping is really important for everybody, athletes and others. And when you start to set your bedtimes and you go to bed at the same time and you have that nice routine that brings you down and you have a nice good sleep, and then you get up at the same time every day and have whatever your morning routine is, right? That's also a really nice place to get into a positive mindset by allowing your body to just have that nice routine, right? Yeah. Yeah, other people's words and actions, right? Again, just whatever, that's them. That's them. And if someone ever says something that you don't really like, again, I like this, walk it off, just go for a walk. You know, put an imaginary mirror up so they have to look at themselves. Like that's a you problem. That's not a me problem, right? If someone says something nasty, that's a you. That's a you problem. I hope you can sleep tonight. Well, that's not me. Right? Similar to the way we said about the green hair last week, that why would people say weird stuff like that? Okay, let's everybody just stand up for a second, do a little stretch, right? Do a little stretch. Touch your toes. I'm in a tight spot here. Touch your toes. Oh, that feels nice. Stretch your back. Take a nice deep breath. Right? Do some wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes just to get the blood moving again. Cool. There's a picture, for those of you who downloaded the presentation, there is a picture of a juggler. And I would like just a couple of comments, if you don't mind, and tell me what that picture means. Okay, so again, those are for the people who downloaded the presentation. Okay, it's a picture of the guy juggling plates, and just tell me what you think that picture means. And Leonka, if you answered the question, making decisions, just explain a little bit more what you think. Right? Okay, so again, the question still, I think we broke the record, you guys. We're at 43. So Evan, that he's got a lot of things in his life, maybe a little bit, that we have a lot of place, we have to juggle everything step by step to get good. Thank you, Ryan. He doesn't give up. He's making his own choices. Don't judge others by who they are. Treat them with respect no matter what. Yeah. Yeah. If you can't do something right the first time, always try until you get it. Yep. Don't let failure make you give up. Amazing. Amazing. This picture shows someone who is obviously being very positive, right? Always being very positive, and he's saying, I've got to practice. I don't know how to start juggling plates when I'm just learning. I have to make sure that I learn something and go through the steps. And maybe he set different goals, because you can see each step has fewer broken plates, right? So each step is a different goal. He wasn't going to go from the very bottom of the steps all the way to the top right at the start. You have to go through different stages, right? So you got to keep trying and don't give up. Exactly. You guys are great. This is awesome. Thank you. So yeah, when you're looking at it, there's fewer and fewer plates that are broken by the time he gets up on stage, and now he's in front of everybody and he's doing really well. So yeah, there's a lot of truth to this picture that we're going to take with us, right? We know we can't just give up. We know that we need to keep moving forward, and we know now that we need to set small goals in order to reach the big goal. Okay? Yeah, it's a process. Fantastic. Okay, the next slide, hang on a second. The next thing before we get into talking about the goals themselves, it's really, really important to talk about values. And, I think we did this a little bit last week, and it's super important when we set goals, and you'll see it in the presentation, that values plus goals equals action, okay? And if you don't have the values, it's really hard to do anything with your goals, right? There's no motivation behind them. So we need to always understand why, right? Values are why we do something, okay? Goals are what we do, but values are why we do them. So if everyone can just think about a couple of things about why within Special Olympics, right? Why do you do it? Why do you want to get better at your sport? Why? We did this last week, but maybe just do it one more time, right? Why is your sport important to you? Awesome. Try new things. I like it. Stronger. Ooh, there's a 1 win. Cool, okay. Okay, yeah, there's some good goals, Darby, right? Cool. So you guys, thanks for doing that. Having all these reasons why, again, those values, those are super important, because now when we step into the goal setting part, all it just becomes natural to move forward with it, right? So we want to make sure that we have that reason that we go. Otherwise, again, we go back to that step of maybe I don't want to go, maybe I want to sit on the couch. But when you have all these really positive reasons to carry on and to go, that's really encouraging. That's motivating, right? And you guys have lots of really good reasons. So when you go and set a goal, there might be times where you find it hard, right? It's learning a new skill and you might have a hard time with it. But it doesn't mean you stop. It just means that you work harder, right? And you pull from deep down inside and you just push through it so you can get to that next step, right? Just like the guy juggling the plates. You're going to get to that next step the harder you work and the more resolve you have. Okay? So, one last step before we get into talking about our goals is we need to make them smart. Okay? So when we make a goal smart, we make sure that it's really, really specific. Okay? So we're going to say what our goal is, and I'm as an example, my goal, remember, I think some of you guys will know, I had surgery on my Achilles tendon a couple of months ago. And so I can't really walk very well right now. And I certainly can't run, and I can't do a lot of stuff because I'm just getting back on my foot. So my goal is I want to put my skates on in January, and I want to go for a skate. And in April, I want to go golfing and go hiking. So that's one of my goals, right? So I have to be really specific because I'm working, I'm rehabbing, and I'm going to physio all the time and doing my exercises. So I want to be very specific in my goal, right? That I want to be able to get my skates on in January. So that's a real specific goal that I have, versus just saying, I want to feel better, right? Feel better, that's not a good goal. That's not specific. All right, measurable again. So what I said with mine is I want to do it by January. So I was very specific. This is what I want to do, and this is when I want to do it, right? Timely and measurable. Someone could say, I want to lift this much weight. I want to be able to bench a certain amount of weight. That's that measurable piece, right? If I'm doing rhythmic gymnastics, I want to be able to do a spin with 2 rotations in it. Whatever it is, okay? Whatever it is. Achievable. Let's say we want to set some goals today. We're going to have them set for maybe Christmas, right? Set them for a time that we can actually come back and check in, right? What is that timeline? And it's relevant to you. Remember, this is all about you guys. Don't make it about somebody else, and don't let somebody else ever set your goals for you. You have to do it because it's about you. Okay? Perfect. I love that you're jumping in here with some of these goals. So now, if anyone has printed off the worksheet, you could open it up right now. Okay? Oh, see, I like that there's a goal that's not, Laura, thank you for sharing that. That's not sports specific, but I want to be able to meet some new people. Good job. So now, if you guys have your worksheet, right, the worksheet's super important because it has 4 different columns in it. Okay, and if you guys have your pen and paper, and if you don't have the worksheet, that's okay. You've got 4 questions that you're going to ask for one goal. Okay, so everyone can write out what your goal is, whether you do it in the chat or just do it on your own, that's fine. Right? But you want to put your goal in. Okay? And it just needs to be really, really simple. Oh, I see exactly what you guys are writing. Just a really simple, I want to do this skill. I want to find a job. I want to meet new friends, whatever it is, nice and simple. Okay. Now your next thing, this is really important. Your next thing is you're saying, how would I know I got it? Right? How would I know I succeeded in my goal? Right? For me, if my goal was to be on my skates in January, I'm going to know that I've succeeded because I'm going to feel good enough and I won't hurt, right? I won't hurt and I'll be able to skate in January. Okay? So again, how will I know I got it? And it could be something about, hey, if you chose that, if your goal was I want to make some new friends, how will you know that you got it? Right? That you could say, I made 1 new friend, I made 5 new friends, right? I have someone I can phone in the evening or I can chat with on Zoom, whatever it is. These are really good goals. See, Lori, I want to stay healthy and fit. You need to be more specific than that. Get a little bit more specific. Okay, I like that. Driver's license, that's a really specific one. Yeah, Emma, that's perfect. I won't be wobbly. That's exactly that's the kind of answer we need in that second. That's perfect. Cool. So now you guys go to your third question. This is that values part. This is the why we do it. Okay? How will I benefit from achieving my goal? How will I benefit from achieving my goal? So that means what am I going to get out of it? Right? For me, if I can get back on my skates in January, how will I benefit? Well, then I'll be able to be out with my friends. I will get some exercise. I will feel great. Right? There's lots of different answers that get in here. Okay? So what will I get out of it? Oh, see, yeah, my self-esteem rises. This is 100% here, all about confidence. Nice. Yeah, really good, you guys. Yeah. Yeah, Laura, I like your thinking that through. I like these really positive comments. So now the final one, this is where you actually start to break down what your goals are, right? And because you've done it in your sports before, right? Everyone's done something where they've had to break it down into little pieces. So remember the guy with the in the picture with his juggling the plates. What's that first step to doing it? And I'll take Nick wanting to get his driver's license as one, right? What's that first step that he might have to do? Well, it might have to be studying, right? Studying to get that, to get the first test, or practicing driving, practicing parallel parking. Again, very specific, not just practice. Practice isn't specific enough. We need to say something really, really specific, right? So when our goal is, we're just looking at that first step. Okay. Yeah. And what specifically do we want to get out of it, right? So how am I going to achieve my goal of getting back on my skates, right? My goal is I need to keep doing my physio. I need to do my exercises, but remember I have to be specific. So I have to do my exercises 2 times per day. Okay? And I have to do 10 sets of each, right? Remember, they have to be super duper specific. Right? No matter what your goal is, there's always little pieces that you can break it down. And if you think about if we have any of the bowlers on the program here, right? What is it that you need to do a little better in your delivery, right? Is it how you're holding the ball? Is it how you're throwing it? Yeah, yeah, I like that. Oh, I love Darby. Thank you. I've written my resume. I keep looking for job opportunities. Yeah, perfect. Yep. So that's it, you guys. It's always about just the little things. If you don't look at the big picture until you've broken down the little steps, okay, and keep just getting those tiny little steps, because that avoids frustration, right? That helps with your confidence. It helps build you up and keeps you motivated, so then you can get to the next step. And then once you've done that, you get to the next step. And then all of a sudden, that goal you've already achieved, it's time to make another one, right? And then you get to just move on from there, and you can keep building your goals. All right, now you guys, I'm going to tell you right now what your password is. Your password is Red Moose. I'm going to type it in here for you. Red Moose. I don't have any stories about a red moose. Just is what it is. Nothing like the buffalo bison story. So Red Moose is your password for today's session. And I have a question for everybody. One more question before we wrap up for today. Last week, I put out a challenge to see if anyone would maybe stand in front of their mirror or in front of their camera and say something positive about themselves, right? That affirmation about what you're going to go and do today. Now I see lots of stuff on chat, but have you guys, did anyone do it in front of their mirror? Laura, I hope your mom was okay after being chased. Thank you, Leonka. Oh, April, thank you. I'm glad. Good job. Good job. That's okay, Jaden. Anyone that hasn't done it, it's just another challenge just to give it a shot, right? All it is just looking in front of the mirror and saying, I'm going to do this, or I'm really good at this, and just something to keep that positive movement and keep that confidence nice and high, right? And if you get, down in the dumps every now and then, that's totally fine, because you guys have all the skills you need to step out of it, right? And to move forward. And if you need to, you always just give all of us a shout, and we help you through that. Okay, that goal setting sheet that you have is usable for everything, right? It can be, again, a sport goal, a personal goal, an education or an academic goal, whatever you want, right? About friends and relationships. And just keep a copy of it, or just keep a piece of paper and follow that plan, but make sure you do all 4 steps. Okay? Just doing the goal where you only say the goal doesn't really help, right? It helps a little bit, but it doesn't get you there. The next 3 steps are the really, really important pieces, so don't forget to do all the steps. Okay? All right, you guys, that's it for tonight, and thank you so much for all the engaging, and can't wait to see you again next week. We'll see you later.